Yeah, we're gonna get into our next session here. I'll spend some time after all these sessions to talk to chat for a little bit. I have about an hour I can talk chat for. So after not this session, but the next session, we'll sit down. I'll sit down and talk chat. We'll do some zone guessing. Talk about mythology for zone guessing. Talk about stuff like that. I have like a pretty flat 50% like win rate on this. I'll talk a little bit more about it. Yeah. Let me go ahead and message Pat real quick. I mean, no plunking. Yeah, chill. All right, Chad. Oh wait, never mind. Oh wait, no. You were plunking. I thought you were plunking. Chat, can we plonk now? Can we plonk now, chat? Everyone, please plonk.
I love when you're over there just saying words.
Me too.
What the fuck is a...
She plinked on my plonk till I saw an emote that's Plink 182, and it's the fucking Plink cat, but it has like emo hair and like lip piercings. Good emote. All right, how are you, Eams? Chat, we have my 1-year streaming anniversary this month. What do we do for it? Polybridge is 2. You should give us all your money for streaming. I should give you my money. I should give you my money. You know, you should give me your money. I'm the streamer. All right, chat. We're going to get into our session. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Pav. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I cough.
I
So hello. So today's session, we have a what? Is it mechanics coaching, movement
Yeah.
coaching, aim coaching, decision making, IGL mechanics. Okay, just a broad whole. I'm sure. Yeah, you said in my chat earlier. You feel like you plateaued, right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So plateauing is called. So plateauing isn't real, and I know that probably sucks to hear as like the person who is plateauing, right? Plateauing is just caused by the incorrect, like focus on your like mechanic or like abilities, right? Like people over focus mechanics, people hard tunnel mechanics. They'll go, I'm not gonna be. I have this happens a lot. People will be like, I'm never gonna like as a content creator, I'm never gonna upload a YouTube video until I can drop like 20 bombs, 4Ks, and then they get stuck on like.
Right.
Sometimes they drop them, and it's like I don't know, like what, like I can never get better than this. Like there's so much more you can do to get better, but like it's hard to know from your own, what you can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with slight feelings, you guys to figure anything out on my own, which is that's perfect. That's what I'm here for, right? Especially your overall KD. So you win your 1v1s about half the time, I'd imagine, right?
I'd say like in the beginning of when I started playing Apex, I barely did.
Oh, barely, yeah,
but
but like right now.
Yeah, right now I would definitely say it's 50-50, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A KD of 1 just statistically says you win half your fights, right?
Right.
So, what would you say the biggest reason for you losing your fights is?
I'd say a lot of it is just like comes down to my decision making and my aim.
Okay. So, do you feel like your aim is consistent?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay. Do you sit up straight? Do you sit? Do you have proper posture?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, and your desk is like a good height, right? Like your desk, like your arms are flat and straight when you sit up. They're
Yeah,
not like at an angle. You're not like sitting like you're not like your arms aren't like leaning forward, not leaning down, anything like that, right?
they're like so like my chair arms are slightly lower than my desk, but that's about it. Like I don't really put my arm on my chair arms.
Yeah, you can't really do that unless you have like a proper chair.
Right. I just put them on my desk, so I don't
Yeah,
think that makes a difference.
yeah, you should be fine, right? Because like you should look. Wait, let me screen share. Oops. Yeah, so your shit should look like this. Your shit should be parallel, right?
Right.
Your shit shouldn't be like
I lean forward or anything like that. So yeah.
okay, good. Because this is the number one way to be more consistent. If you're at a fucking angle or some shit like that, if you got this where your fucking spine's red, like don't do that, right?
Okay.
All right, but also especially since you play MK, right?
Yes.
I assume everybody that I talk to is like this is on MK. Just make sure,
Yeah.
especially right, because MK is a really sensitive tool. It's way more precise and sensitive as a result of the tool itself than a controller is, right? Sadly, to be consistent, you have to make sure that you get like a good night's sleep, because if you don't sleep properly, you will perform worse, right? And if you don't drink water, you're not hydrated and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things that go into why MK is hard to be consistent with, right? And like sadly,
Right.
that
Right.
is sadly the reason why, but it's also a good reason to fucking take care of yourself.
True.
Mm. Do you aim train at all?
Um.
Not required. Just curious.
I've like tried. It's just like really hard for me to feel like it helps my game. I guess in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. That's fair. Aim training is not required. I don't really say students need aim train for consistency, because I'm pretty consistent, even though I don't necessarily aim train like too much.
Mhm.
Even though I should. Like I should. I just don't have time. Right.
Right.
I was more so just curious. I mean, if you want to be the ultimate consistent monster, you can be. You want to aim train, but not required. Not required unless
Yeah.
you're gonna be top. Blah 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 blah. Right.
Right. Right. Right.
So let me look at your stats. So how long have you been
But
playing?
I definitely do want to aim train more. I just feel like maybe I need the right like the right sets, like the right drills to do that can like actually help me get better at the game. Maybe I've done like the wrong ones in the past, things like that.
Well, Voltaic is releasing a new Apex playlist soon, so you can look forward
Yeah,
to that if you want.
I actually looked up yours
Mine
on
is old and not
Aimlabs.
super good. It's not super great.
Okay, okay.
I kind of threw some stuff together that I didn't really have a good selection of things, and more so like a test run. Space,
Cool,
thank you
cool,
for the
cool.
15
Okay.
months. I appreciate you. Thank you. So KD won. So you're about 50-50 on your 1v1s. When you play the game, do you mostly solo queue or do you stack?
Honestly, I barely pub, I just rank.
Okay.
And
Okay.
usually I try to have a squad when I rank, so yeah.
Okay. So I assume since I'm badge, I assume you're peak diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like hard stuck diamond.
Do you play a lot in diamond, or do you play mostly in like ply and then get to diamond and be like, alright, I'm done?
I'd say like since Broken Moon Split, whenever I would hit Diamond 4, I'd like be hard stuck Diamond 4 and
Mm.
then would just
I
stop
assume you
playing, I
go back
guess,
and
after a
forth.
while.
Okay.
But then Broken Moon Split hit and I peaked at like Diamond 2.
Okay.
So I didn't play a fair bit in there, and then now I just hit Diamond like yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm definitely gonna try to hit Masters.
I
I've
mean,
been trying to
hey.
hit Masters, so yeah.
I mean, hey, you're higher ranked than I am right now. Smile. I'm
Yeah,
flat
but
fucking
you
one.
haven't been able to play.
Okay, true. High skill 16. I assume. Well, obviously it was a football pub. I would assume. You're dropping that in
Yeah,
fucking plat
yes.
ranked. You're fucking crazy. And highest damage is 4K. How many times have you gotten to 4K? I assume this is your only 4K.
Yeah, that's my only 4K.
Who's it on?
Octane.
Octane.
Yeah.
When was that?
Like pretty long time ago, like at least 1.5 years.
Okay, so you haven't gotten to 4K in like a while too, especially, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
a long time.
You do also play a lot of ranked. You're not really gonna get 4Ks in ranked unless you have a really good ranked game, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I play pubs is like you either land siphon or frag, and then
Get
After
5
ring
kills and
1,
die.
there's like
Yeah.
yeah. After ring 1, there's like 2 squads left.
You rip a fucking like 7-kill banger, and then there's 2 squads left. You're like, okay.
So yeah.
And then especially with your season KD being 1, I can definitely see in your stats the plateauing. Right. So we'll go ahead and address. What do you think your strongest part of you as a player is?
My strongest part, I feel like I'm like I don't really know if this is applicable, but like I don't know. I feel like I can adapt when like
That's
I
good.
know what to do. I
That's
guess.
good. Yeah. No, that's actually really good. That's really good.
Okay.
Adaptability is a really good trait to have.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead I'm gonna go. I'll go ahead and look at your gameplay. Do you have? Are these are ranked games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
And
of them.
then you're stacking. Are you stacking with people?
So one of them is duo queuing with my friend, and then the other is 3 stacking.
Okay, Pog. So this will be a good. We're playing with people. I'm gonna try and look at you specifically, see the decisions you make, the things you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
See how you take fights, see how you do blah blah blah, blah, right? Because I want to
Right.
see
Right.
what you can do as a player, what you can do, in these fights. Kind of, you won't be able to hear the audio, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're the one that played the goddamn game. You should be fine, right?
Yeah.
Was that IDK, Chief?
No.
Oh.
That's just Chief. He's playing Seer.
Hmm.
I just had 100 frames for a second.
Yeah, you guys don't look like you're contested, so we're going to skip a little bit forward here.
Yeah, I think our first fight was like maybe 5 minutes in.
Okay. I want to take a little snippet of a fight and see how it goes.
I feel like it's like
100%. No, wait,
Definitely a little bit further. It was around survey. Yeah, around there.
Yep.
you can
Moving
coin,
up.
move up with us.
I'm taking this house here. Hop in a cell.
I'm moving up on that valve.
No angles right now.
I don't have any.
One's on height. I'm in this
Yeah, that's pretty
RV.
slow.
Trying to see if I can get hit in. 63, crack the Wraith. On the right.
Move up on the right.
They're
Move up on
Valculting.
They're Valculting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had like a pretty nice shot here when they ran.
Shooting people when they're Valculting is so fun as Vantage.
They're gonna take the zip.
I
again,
know,
we'll be
it's
able
so
to kill them.
satisfying.
Have you seen that
No,
clip
I
where
haven't
where I
seen
shit on a full team Valculting, like when Vantage came out?
No.
Oh,
I'd
no,
have
that
to
clip
watch
is
it.
an OG. That clip is an OG one.
Knocked.
Nice. Not really too much you can do off that though.
I'm running up.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They're
Wait,
taking
wait.
this
One
one.
took the balloon.
I
They
can't
kept
tell.
going.
They look like they were flying.
They
over
just
me.
leave their guy behind.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah. I think we thought they'd like rezzed him because of a portal, but he was still down.
I'm taking port.
I'm with you. I took it back. No.
I downed one.
Bro.
This is fine.
I took it back.
We got fried.
Yeah, that's fine.
They have like all the angles there.
Careful, MP. You are alone.
I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. I did broke him.
I'm watching port.
Let's move up again after you guys heal. I'm gonna move up.
Yeah, I'm good.
So when you play, who do you play ranked usually?
They're probably gonna get the res off.
Yeah.
I've been playing Vantage a lot lately. It's either Vantage or Cat.
I'm
As of
going in
late.
from the right.
Vantage is fun.
Freest knock ever.
So you
Yeah.
don't. So you typically don't play
I got the shit, boys.
entry frag. You typically play like back, right? You typically
Yeah, I
play
would say, like,
supportive,
Good shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a support character or player.
and you enjoy that, right? You don't do that because you're forced onto it.
Did you there?
No, I definitely think that's my strong suit.
I gobbled.
Especially because I'm, I don't know,
It's
just
okay,
part of it
you
is like
got, like,
I'm in
triple
McKay,
digit
so like I feel like definitely it's more suitable for like a roller player to be kind of like that or play like that.
Is it?
I mean, I don't really want to sit here and be like, "Oh, where's this?" You're like, we're not talking highest level
Right,
of
right,
Apex
right.
Legends.
Am I-
You're freaking. We're talking about diamond ranked, right?
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, even then, unless I'm coaching a pro team, if I'm talking to people that are just like impred ranked or whatever, like it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. As long as it's not pro play, I'm like, just do whatever the fuck you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a freaking game, man.
That's
But
true.
as long as you enjoy doing it, it's what you want to
I
do.
scanned
That's fine.
seeing someone barely on the right.
Yeah, I definitely think it's good for me.
Okay.
To play how I do. Yeah.
I think it's a
2 teams.
yeah.
I'm interested to hear what you think about this
No, I'm
situation.
traded. I'm zipping up.
Cracked one, knocked one.
One. I almost cracked Pappy. Zero.
Okay, you never want to crouch peeking like this, by the way.
Knocked one.
Okay, good.
This is
Yeah.
really bad. Do you know why it's bad?
I almost cracked
Um,
Pappy.
he just has a better chance of hitting more shots on me.
True.
80 on that
But
guy.
let's do you know why specifically?
My hitbox is like easier to hit.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk. We'll get into more specifics. It's important to understand specifics, right? I think it's important to understand for other concepts, especially for players. I think in the okay, hello, we have a random. That's fine.
I hate that bug.
I want to just dude. Why does this game not fucking work half the time, man?
I don't know. It
Um,
sucks, but weird.
right.
Dictating.
So when we're playing around somebody, right? If we want to dodge as many shots as possible, right? Well, we want to be fast, right? We want to keep moving, like side to side to side, right? If we're doing
Right.
this, right? If we're doing this, we get shot at and we move. Look how little we move, right? Obviously, like this is bad, right? Like doing this is bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know why, right? You watched last coach suggestion. You saw my explanation
I
why,
did.
right?
Yeah.
So you say it. So you know this is bad. So in the same breath of doing this where you don't move, right? You don't move like this either, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't move at all. It's so easy. Like I can literally keep my crosshair in one place and track somebody who's crouching.
Yeah.
So when you're peeking somebody, and this doesn't give you more accuracy, right? Like look at sure. The only place this would be good. The only place that really crouching is good is with like ARs, right? Just they fire, kind of narrows in, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's that's like the only time it's actually really like half applicable,
Mm-hmm.
right? But even then, if we look at like if someone's aiming properly at you, like right here, right? If you're crouching, guess what your head's doing? Going down. And guess what they're gonna get? Headshots, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna make it way worse, right? So you really want to avoid crouching at all, really. The only time crouching really is good. Crouching is really good against the wingman, but bad players will get free headshots because they don't know what they're doing, right? Because good players will aim for the head of the wingman, right? So
Mhm.
crouching is good, but bad players don't. Bad players aim here. So if you crouch, it's a conundrum. It's hard to.
Right,
It's kind of hard
okay.
to. You have to play it by feel, rather
Yeah.
than play it by like whatever else, right? But crouching is just bad overall. I want you to avoid it. It doesn't make you more accurate really, like in any situation at all. It's only really good for like taking like a peek you couldn't see, right? Because I'm like right here, and I want to see like an angle like
Okay,
this,
yeah,
right? Or I want to like maybe like cut this angle off a little bit harder, right? Because like right here I can see his whole upper body. Here I can only see his head, right? But he can only see like a little part of me. That's like the only time you want to do it, and that's such like a map specific thing on a certain angle specific thing that you don't really want to worry about it, right?
Mhm.
Just don't crouch at all. Don't crouch at all. It's bad. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you stay faster like this too, especially because this guy's gonna start shooting you, right? And just go fast again. There's like a slowdown period, right? Because you're going like this, and you're gonna go like this, right? To speed up.
Yeah.
Just stay fast the entire time. It's always better to transmute. It's always better to have a faster speed than it is to be not even more accurate, right? Reason to.
Okay.
Stop breathe.
He's sliding me. I need
Right, and this initial damage you take gives them an opportunity to push you, right?
Yeah.
Zero.
80 on that guy.
And your teammate's just not watching for you, question mark? I mean, there is a smoke here. You might have a digi. He probably actually doesn't have a digi.
Yeah.
That's probably why he can't actually watch for you, really.
Zero.
80 on that guy.
I think the timing might have been awkward, too. Yeah, he thirsted a guy. Wasn't like paying attention.
Right here.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a
Behind you,
little.
behind you.
It was a bad play from your teammate to not watch, but it necessarily
80 on
communicates
that
super
guy.
well.
Cracked one, knocked
But
one.
like how much damage you take here from trying to hold this guy on the angle gets you killed here, right?
Yeah.
But
100%.
only because you're crouching. Like that's it. I'm not gonna harp on this any longer, but
80 on that guy.
I definitely think I shouldn't have peeked it. Maybe as long as I did.
holding this was fine. I mean, yeah, you kind of have to be that long because you're crouching too, right? You can't really get
Yeah.
up super fast, right? You have to, right? You're
Oh
standing
my God.
still. It's harder for you to move, right? Just don't crouch. Easy. Problem solved.
Okay.
Like holding this guy on the angle is fine. Holding this guy on the angle is fine.
80 on that guy. He's sliding me. I need right here. Nice.
I
Behind you,
definitely don't
behind you.
understand. I hit him for 15 there, but
Thinking about. You're good.
Someone's taking
Then we ended up winning this. My teammate clutched it.
That Wraith was
Nice,
oblivious.
One more.
Yeah.
Keep knock that up.
200.
Focus on the fight. That's what you get.
You didn't even.
Kind of looks like a PK.
We're just like poking shots at this point.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I hear.
Yeah, this is a duo.
So
Alright, let's do it.
yeah.
I'm going from. I'm climbing up.
One's on me over here. I ulted.
One's on my door
One's
still.
downstairs. Oh, crack it.
Ready?
I'll beam him. Shot. 100 shot. 117 on dang.
12 dead.
Okay. That was a coordinated team play. It was good. Like I missed
Yeah.
on you on the PK. That's fine.
And then this end game was like the part where I feel like a lot
One's
went
to the
wrong,
right,
or like
Close.
one decision that we made like kind of just like
Might
screwed
be in the
us.
house, Smack. Careful.
There's someone in there. Yeah. Got it. Fuck ulted. I stopped him.
Okay.
50 burp. 59 bang.
What's in do you play, by the way?
I can definitely
Cents?
afford us over
Yeah.
there. Okay. Who the fuck is
800
shooting?
DPI, 2
There's a
cents.
rat in tunnel.
Oh, so you play a relatively fast sensitivity.
Yeah.
Any reason why? It's not like a bad thing. I'm just curious.
I don't know. I kind of just got like convinced by like watching other MNK people play it,
He's
like
literally flesh.
try high
50
sense
flash.
out, and like I was like pretty low. I was at like
save,
1.2
save.
before.
Yeah, I have like
And
1.2.
Yeah, and I've played that sense like for the longest time ever, and I felt like pretty comfortable. But then, like, I guess one of the things is like I felt like I was at a plateau, so I feel like I had to change something, so I changed my sense.
I
And
do.
yeah.
There's another guy over there. He's not.
But
He's
it
not
does
wrong.
make me feel more comfortable, like
That's good.
being able to like
Move
I
more.
guess like yeah
mobility,
exactly.
mobility. And
Yeah.
stuff like
I'm a
that,
bat. I'm a bat.
I got the re-knock.
Trade places. I'm trying to peek.
I want to point out that in this situation,
Take the port back, Pam?
I
I'm
do.
being
There's
punched. Hang
another
on.
guy.
Hi. What's up? Goodbye.
Guy over there. He's not.
All right, so I want to point out in this situation,
Shoot him.
it's not your job to take the portal.
Save it. Save it.
You're right.
Yeah, I tried to tell him not to
Low.
port, but he did.
I mean, he did, right? But it's not really. It's not really. It's, again, it's not your job. Like you know, there's a guy down here, right? You saw that guy earlier. You said earlier. You're like, oh, there's
50
two down
flash.
here, right? You got flash for a lot of damage, right?
I just can't shoot him.
Yeah.
It's not really your job
Oh,
to go
save
through
it,
the portal
save it.
here. If the Wraith wants to do this, that's Wraith's job, right? Because she has mobility. You don't really have like mobility. Like you do have your vantage key, right? But it
Mhm.
can't really. It's not good mobility, right?
Yeah, it's not instantaneous.
It's not like Pathfinder grapple. You go up you go wee in the air and then fly down, right? You just die, right?
Yeah.
He's low as heck.
As Vantage and as Catalyst and as a lot of the characters that you're gonna play as, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
goal on a team, I'm sure you've seen. I don't know how much of like Raven or like other like coaches you watch, right? There's a dichotomy in team comps as to how they kind of play, and most team comps when played really well look like a
Triangle.
triangle, yeah, right.
Mhm.
And I'm sure. So your role, right, is obviously this one, right? You play one
Right.
down here. Do you know what this role is best defined as?
Anchor.
Anchor is not a role in fights. Anchor
Okay,
is a role in extending. So anchor is a role, right? It's not a role in
Right.
fights. You don't want to anchor in fights. You want to fight because you anchor in fights, right? What are you doing? These two people are 2v3ing then, right? And, like you're kind of helping, but not necessarily in the fight, right? So if
Mhm.
they need somebody to peek like another angle, they kind of have to do it themselves rather than you do it, right? When you could provide that value or something like that, right? Or you could be the person to sit here, and then this person can come over here and get an angle or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Anchor is a term that's used for when you're holding position and you need to punish a team for doing something, right?
Okay.
For example, like this is a good example of this actually, right? You're trying to punish this team down here, trying to
Mhm.
stuff this team down here because you have a measurable opportunity here. Anchor is a good example of excuse me, sorry.
You're good.
Anchor, a really good example of anchoring, of using this kind of team format for anchoring, is for punishing Valcolts, right? If there's a team next to you and they Valcolt, right? One person's gonna sit here and one person's gonna sit here and go, hey, I'm gonna hold our building, right? Someone walks up on our building, but these two people can walk up and go, hey, let's go shoot these people that are rotating over here. They're walking over here, or they're Valcolting over here, or they're jump padding over here, or whatever, right? They're using mobility to go from here to here. We can go
Right.
shoot these people, do that, maybe get a knock, and then this guy can hold here, look this way for other teams, things like that, right? And that wouldn't be a fight, right? This isn't a fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your job, as I would call, this, you can kind of call this whatever you want. You can, it's not entry frag, right? Because entry frag is a character
Right.
like Valkyrie. It's not a character. And Wraith is more of like an assassin rather than an entry frag.
Okay.
But this role is more of a, I would say it's more of, have you played like MOBAs at all?
MOBAs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like a mage role, right? It's more like a role that sits back and is playing more supportive for the team, right? It's like you can think it like an enchanter. You can think of it as something like that, right? Their whole goal.
Okay.
There's no buffs in Apex, right? Like you don't buff your team,
Right.
right? But you get them opportunities to set them up, right? Like Vantage ult can be seen as somewhat like a buff, right? Or it's
Right.
more of a debuff, right? It gives them a damage multiplier. It does damage to them, right? You can think of it like
Mhm.
like a fucking Q in like League, right? And that's what
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing, right? Catalyst sets up the battlefield like this, so that its whole team over here can't fight, so you guys can initiate, right? That's the whole thing that
Right.
Catalyst does, right? Like you have a
Mhm.
gun too, you have abilities too. It's your whole job, right? But in a when you're properly team fighting, right? Your whole job is basically, if you're going to properly, have a good setup and like play the team comp properly, you're going to look like this, right? This is what you like your race should be over here. Your other guy or your your Bloodhound should be over here, like fighting, right? Like Bloodhound is an entry fight character as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, I don't know if you know that. Most people don't think Bloodhound is an entry frag character, but Bloodhound provides scans and looks for opportunities to push up, right? Especially with Bloodhound ult. They
Mhm.
pop dog. You can't run away from a Bloodhound, right? You can't run away from a
Yeah.
Bloodhound ever. Like Bloodhound, Valkyrie are entry characters. And your job back here is to be more of like supportive towards their goals, but also you set them up like that. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So in a situation like this, when your Wraith's trying to extend, so your Wraith, right, is going to set up a play that's going to try to help your team for success here, right? She's going over here to set a portal and be aggressive, right? So if you were to properly angle this team out, right, your Wraith could extend over here. You would be back here, and your Bloodhound could either like play like the truck up here, or Bloodhound could even play like the rock with you, right? And even then, if we were to take this top down, right, you would be a fucking triangle formation, right?
Right.
You would be a triangle formation.
Literally, yeah.
It'd be a little bit less of like a perfect triangle, right? But
Mhm.
the team's stuffed down here, right? It's not your job to take the portal. The Wraith, I mean, obviously your Wraith is like take the portal. It's you almost always take it last, right? Unless like a full team rotation, but it's kind of obvious this isn't for a team rotation, like a team fight, right?
Right.
I want you to be more comfortable learning how to angle people from further away, right? You don't have to be in their face to necessarily provide value, right? I think your weapon loadout is necessarily too orientated for close range.
Yeah.
I think Prowler, there's
I
probably
do run
opportunities.
some weird loadouts.
What do you like running as like these characters you play?
I feel like on Vantage, I feel like the loadout that I have, like a SMG or shotgun, I feel like I can get away with because I feel comfortable that I have a sniper to fall back on if I need to like shoot from range.
That is true, right?
But if I'm not on like Vantage like that, I usually try to run like SMG AR.
SMG, excuse me, SMG AR or SMG marksman is typically what I would favor on Vantage rather than like a sniper, right? Because if we look at basically what you do, right? So say for example, right? Let's say the common-ish example. This isn't something you'll come across too uncommonly. Let's say you have 2 to 3 bullets, right? You'll probably never have max ammo in your bolt, right?
Yeah.
There'll be sometimes you do, but even then, like these situations are common, right? Let's say there's 2 to 3 bullets left in your gun, right? Somebody's crossing out in the open, right? Like a pretty decently sized far away, right?
Yeah.
You are playing anchor in this situation, right? So you're holding position,
Mhm.
but you go, hey, there's a team crossing out in the open. You shoot the last guy, right? You miss one bullet, right? Because you're human, right? Or whatever. Or maybe you can hit the first bullet, right? But you miss a bullet
Mhm.
somewhere, right? If you have 2 bullets, you miss the first bullet, you hit 1 bullet, that's 50 damage, and they're marked, right? Now, what value do you provide to this, right? With SMG shotgun?
Nothing,
None,
basically.
right? You
Yeah.
can't do anything. You're like, all right, shoot them, guys. I can't do anything, right? It's
Yeah.
you want a more middle range weapon to operate with, but not a far range one because you're a sniper. Because you can't really do too much from super far away, right? Like your sniper obviously can, but you want more of a weapon that's more reliable in the close to medium range, so you can engage properly, right? That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd really recommend you ditch the shotgun and run like SMG, like G7 or 30-30 or just or an AR. You can run AR or marksman depending on what you want. Marksman will be stronger for situations like this, but AR will be stronger in some other situations, right?
Right.
I think your role, I think your role is a really strong one, and but you put yourselves in situations where it's a lot harder to play your role, right? Because right here, you're not actually playing your role, right?
Not at all.
Does that make sense? And
Like
even
trying to be like a initiator.
Yeah.
Or like not even like an entry fragger, but I'm not.
Yeah, and even here, right? And the fight we talked about in the streamer building, you're not really playing your role either, right?
Yeah.
You're also playing up close. You're playing like the corner. You're not, and it's not like too bad, right? Because like there's not really a good way to space backwards in that building, right? So you're not really not playing your role. You're not playing your role, but you're also not playing your role. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's not like too much you can do, right? And then you get.
I'm a bat.
I got the re-knock.
I get rezzed here, and I think they like run to the RV little truck thing.
The duo. So
And this is like after that is where it goes downhill.
I'm gonna nade him out.
In there. I'm gonna move up on him.
Careful, I need to hit full heal.
Other team's fighting.
Move up together.
Do it.
What marksman would you recommend? The G7.
Go to the door. Crack them. All dead.
Okay.
I needed that. Oh my lord.
Over here in the tunnel, walking out. 3 shots.
I'm looking with you.
Right? You like you can't do anything here. You don't you like
Exactly.
you don't have a
I
gun.
was literally thinking that. Yeah.
Like I can't access your aim here because you don't have a gun for the range you're shooting at, right?
And like shooting with my sniper there is kind of awkward. So,
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. It's like the weird range.
Don't die. Don't die.
I thought your teammate died. I think you also thought that.
Yeah.
Careful.
Safe in here.
Yeah. So like when we like just like cornered ourselves here, like both teams just encircled us, and then we were just like fucked. Like it just both teams just wanted to kill us, I guess.
And you're in a spot where both teams can angle you out. It requires good map control and map knowledge to actually be able to fight these teams, right? Good armor drop, by the way.
I think we have to end this team.
What team?
Team like right next to us. No, not the duo. That's a duo, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm full healing.
Just being annoying as fuck.
Yeah, they're
And I
both
feel like our
healing.
team comp didn't really help us.
Nah, I'm at 8.
I mean,
Like,
Wraith.
hold
I
this
mean,
RV.
Wraith is a dog shit character. Wraith is really
Bring
bad.
this low, bring
So
this low.
like, there's not really too much,
Swing this guy. I'm swinging that. Oh, never mind. We can't.
Watch, he's looking at us.
Dude,
40 on that fucking
we're
lifeline.
literally getting looked at by both of them.
How are they getting 3 shots with that team on their back? 104 on that guy.
There's just like a lot of indecision.
Dude,
Like
what is up with their
like
team just letting
they
them
rely on me to
score?
guess make calls because like we're trying to play comp together.
Mhm.
So like I
We-
just
we
didn't
can't
make a
let-
call here like to like
we
a
can't
like
leave.
a like
We
an
can't let
affirming
this
call
go
like
today.
we do this right now. So
Mhm.
we're just kind of like all in limbo.
Can't even get out
Mm.
of here.
Basically,
They're just letting them do this.
the program you draw on screen. It's called Epic Pen.
They have like 3 angles on us. That's why. Because No, but the other team has three inches on them
Not
pushing
going.
us. Like
On the
even
right.
right now, this fucking Pathfinder on the left side.
Those people are insane. Like this guy
flex,
was
he's
so
flex, he's
low and
literally
he's
more.
still peeking.
Yeah, average
I
fucking.
can't. Every time I fucking get out of here, like every time I move, they peek that window.
Yeah, let me just die here. Basically, I took port and just insta died.
I'm gonna have to take it
Yeah,
forward.
this is more of a macro problem that can be indicative of.
Literally fucking looking at us like.
I mean, you guys got second. Good.
So this is a little bit. The situation comes
Sure,
down
this guy-
more
I
to
swear.
zone control and space control in the final zone than it does actually like aim or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And if we're looking at your individual like skills and plateauing and stuff like that, right? This isn't super required, so I'm gonna kind of briefly touch over this, right? Basically, the team that comes down to the end zone is what team controls the most side of a zone, right? And the team that won is obviously the team up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you control basically this space. This team basically controls this space, right? To effectively
Right.
be able to split this space in half, right? What team do you have to eliminate, right? You have to eliminate
The
team-
team next to us.
Yeah, you can't really eliminate this team because the team has such a good position against you, right? And if you try and angle this team out, this team kills you, right?
Mhm.
What I would advise here to be done is you had the time here
Hold on.
and only
To
here.
leave.
No, your spot's fine actually. Your spot's fine actually.
Safe in here.
You do it earlier, but you miss.
Peek out.
You peek out. Yeah, literally, this team's not, like if you stuff this team in here, right? This team on the side can't shoot you if you hook the RV properly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do it here, right? If you properly pressured this team, right? Especially if you had nades here, right?
Yeah.
If you tag one, and also it's important to be take your time with vantage shots because they don't come back very often,
Right.
right? You just kind of like you blind fire, and then you miss like you blind fire a shot, right? This is the blind fire into a mass of people or mass of something, right?
Yeah. I
And
thought
then
someone
this
was there.
that one's more of like a quick flick, right? You want to make
Yeah.
sure, and then this one's an actual shot that you're like, okay, now that I actually know where people are, where she's running, I can actually shoot her, right? You want you want to make sure that you're a lot more careful with your shots. Cause it's really because it's really important to hit them. It's really because they're really good. They provide a lot of value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got this wall, by the way.
Also, if you guys had like any nades or any resource or anything like that, you should have been able to pressure this team out, right? There's never a period in the end game zones, especially if you're going to be doing comp, right? There's never a period where you want to really just be sitting. You want to be trying to control your space and enforce your space, right? You want to try and take space away from teams and try and always be doing something, right? You can't really stop this team up from up top, right? They're like you're kind of playing more for second, or like you're trying to fight them like in a 3v3, right? You can't do that without this team not existing, right? The number one goal is to get that team to stop existing. So they can't just walk up to you, right? Because in an endgame scenario, right, team here, if you stop them from coming over here, where the fuck do they go?
Into the other team.
They die, right? There's nowhere for them to
Yeah.
go. They have to int into you, and if you stop them from having the ability to int into you, like you kill them before they do that, right? Or you put enough
Yeah.
pressure on them, like they won't do anything, right? That's more of like a whole endgame economy breakdown that would be a VOD review session in itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of talk about, but that's briefly. that's my recommendation, right? Or that's kind of like how I would have played it.
Okay.
Right now and then.
Because like I was thinking in that situation, like when we like just all huddled in the RV instead of like we had a time like where we could have like left and then taken that
We
first
can't let
half of the
these people
space, like you said, that like whoever controls that wins the game
It's
basically.
literally-
Yeah, but the team was
Before
already
that
up.
team moved.
The team was up there a while ago, and your Wraith didn't have portal. That's the
Both
problem.
places.
Yeah.
One peak.
That's also why I wanted to save it.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
The duo.
if you're going to be like who's the IGL?
it would be me.
It would be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in an IGL, right? And IGL isn't a role in team fights, but it is a role on the team, right?
hmm
Want to make sure that you specifically, hey, you say these things conducively, right? So the logic I like to say is, right, when it comes, you watched my last coach session, so you saw the whole info
Yeah. Reset.
Plan.
Execution.
plan. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw this real quick for stream. Execution into reset, right? And then ad nauseum, right? This whole thing. Ability to do this, right, as an IGL. I lost my train of thought completely. What was I saying? What was I saying?
Using
Oh
this.
yeah,
IGL.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah. So this plan, right? 3 people following 3 good plans is worse than 3 people following 1 bad plan. Okay?
Okay.
If 3 people are following their own individual plan and doing their own individual thing, you can win off that sometimes, right? But it's better to be on 1 bad plan, right? Because if it's 1 bad plan, right, that can be attributed to not only one person, right? It does put responsibility onto you and on the IGL, right? But that's obviously fixable, right? If one bad plan, right? If you go, hey, let's do this, and then someone disagrees with that, right? If you go, let's do this, someone, player 2 goes, no, we can't do that because of this, and you go, okay, the plan changes to Y, right? And then you can go,
Okay.
oh no, we don't do this because of this, and it's like, okay, then plan becomes Z, and plan becomes like plan like R or whatever, right? Whatever, like it goes down the iterations. You can be like, hey, let's do this. No, we can't do this. Okay, blah 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 blah. Right? That's so much better than being like, hey, no plan, right? Like nothing at all, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing at all, right?
That's basically what that was.
Yeah, no one was really doing anything. Everybody's just kind of just like, yeah, I'm just like playing my life, man. I'm just playing like in the RV. I'm just doing my own thing, right? If there's any call to be made, it should be a bad plan because the bad plan can be iterated on. And even though, right, like I said, if we look at this in the macro scale, right? Look at this in the macro scale and go, hey, plan execution. If the plan is bad, the execution can be really good, right?
Yeah.
And that can still win you guys the game, right? You guys can do the most dog shit, ape into them, just kill them, and you can just murder them, right, and win the game off that, right? So it's important to understand that, hey, you don't necessarily have to come up with the God's given fucking perfect plan, right? Especially because you have teammates that will contribute to it and help you a lot, but you have to basically say something, right? If the team isn't focused, the team isn't doing anything in particular with themselves, right? You have to make sure that it's just gonna be worse because there's not gonna be, you guys are gonna fight. I mean, it basically happens in every bad team. There's just gonna be 3 1v1s or 3 1v3s rather. And then your team's probably just gonna die. Right?
Okay, so like just make a call, even
Make a call. A call. There has to be some path for the team to go on, so that they can actually get to like success, right? It doesn't matter, and if it's a bad call, then we can go back in the lab and be like, hey, I think we should have done that or whatever, or someone else can see like, oh no, we can't do that because of this thing right here, right? Or whatever, right? Like there's so many ways they can iterate on. You just have to say something though. Okay. As for your own mechanical skill, it's kind of hard to analyze from that game. I'll probably look at your next game, see if there's any more fights in this game we can look at, right?
Yeah.
There weren't really like fights in that game, right? Like you lost a trade, and the whole trade was basically because of you crouching, not holding it properly, right?
Yeah. I guess ranked gameplay probably wouldn't have been the best.
Ranked gameplay can be really good. It just takes certain games, right?
Yeah.
Where like you probably end up playing Edge or something like that, right?
In this game?
I was saying I was saying in general, like where you play Edge and ranked or something like that, right? Yeah, really take your time with vantage shots. It's really important that you do.
Second team.
This loadout's a lot better, even though I don't necessarily think the charge rifle should be in your hands. Like it's not the worst gun for you, right? Obviously, but it's not the best.
40.
Right? It's a better loadout for your role. Hello. How do you play this then?
They went for 80.
Oh, I'm fucking dead.
On my door. He's climbing up.
He's knocked. The other guy destroyed.
Dude,
Okay.
I really can.
Yeah, my teammate's a beamer.
That's one.
Yeah, it's only one more.
Okay. I'm coming inside.
I just got like a free angle on this guy.
I'm good. Solid. Is there another team? Oh no, there wasn't.
Yeah, like
I almost
shortly
one clipped
thereafter, like
the
someone walks up.
left hand.
It was right before this.
The other guy's here.
I mean, he ran away anyways.
Might have been a solo from the first teams that were fighting.
It was a duo. They
Knock
both
one.
ran through here.
Other guys here.
I'm on the way.
Rip
And then
zone
this-
25. And this
He's
guy is
chased
just running. This guy is just running,
Yeah.
right?
It's all good though.
I kind of just tunneled into chasing him. I was like, yeah, we're
Worst case
killing him.
scenario.
I see you got him.
Our team is gonna give us
Yeah.
away.
There's just a team inside and there's a team on top.
Yep.
They have a wraith, so try not to look that way.
I'm not.
Our teammate is literally
Okay, well, our
on the
teammate
other
is
side
shooting
of
at
us.
them, and our teammate's dead.
Oh wait, this is where you have a random IC. That makes sense.
Teammate dead,
Yeah.
teammate dead.
Kind of want to shoot at them though.
When teammates already shot them, there's not really a point to not shooting them here.
Yeah. Okay. I think
How-
like another team walked up on our teammate.
I hope I don't get DMCA'd from your freaking music.
No,
I
dude,
hope
hate
not. I'm
you.
sorry.
It's fine. It's quiet. I just need to not let the music play. I need to talk
Still
over
two
it.
teams, probably just- One's with the
There's two teams in the area. You're being very aggressive here. This is a little concerning.
Or you take it. All good.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
I
I
was
thought you
thinking
meant
that.
like you
Check,
need to
check,
take
check,
one.
check. Can you hear the music? Okay, good. It's probably quiet enough. That won't get picked up on VOD.
I'm
I'm gonna
good.
try to back up after this match.
Just come back here. Just fuck your teammate.
Fuck our teammate. True.
Yeah. 'cause
He's
he's
just
like
in there.
going
He's
in
just,
there.
yeah, he's just in there. Like you guys are trying to play a little bit more reserved. Take your time with your shots.
It's the same team that ate them before.
You get that now. But,
Yeah.
but you see how important it is now, right? Especially.
Mhm.
Mage is a really good character that you can extract a lot of value from. It requires there's a lot of cogs in the machine required, but you can do really good with her. You see all like the coaches player. You see like G Dolphin
What's
and
up
like
taking
Hodzig
angles
player, right?
on me?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I definitely want to try to play Vantage and
Yeah, inside
comp,
of here.
but we'll see.
Walking up.
I didn't hit him.
Hit him 40. There's two in there. Just keep
You
back.
took, you took more time with your power shots here than you do your Vantage shots.
Yeah, inside of here.
Like look at your bursts. You like
Hit him
timed them.
40.
Like
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
There's two in
Funny.
there. Just keep backing up. Don't want to get in the way of this blood. And
Yeah, now
then
there's a
team.
check-
Teammate is like in the middle of everything. I cracked that guy twice. Are you kidding me?
Checkpoint team's checking us.
I should have killed this guy.
He's literally hit for 100.
Fine.
We won. Oh,
He just like kept peeking me.
heavy. It'll be really hard to get into circle.
And then here it's just trying to like figure out where the circle's ending and where to play. And I think it did make a
Probably
good
back
call
in.
here.
Checkpoint.
If we go up checkpoint, it's gonna be really hard to get into circle.
Where do you call here? Do you remember?
Chilling now.
They scanned us.
Yeah,
I'm
the circle ending?
Yeah.
If you could go, yeah,
Yeah.
like so on the map right there, I called like right above the or right below the spider cave and like right above the crafter, I guess.
So like here,
Yeah, basically.
like literally, like I guess like center-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
So when it comes to zones, right? So this is end up being a lot less mechanics, a lot more like games and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
But the number one thing, right? So storm point is uphill, right? Storm
Yeah.
point, there's big hills, right? And it's like the more this way you go, the more uphill it gets, right?
Right.
If you want the best spot in the zone, it's like here, right? Because this is the
Okay.
most uphill, right? This is the most uphill. It's not where
Yeah.
the zone ends, right? But it's the most uphill, right? This gives you the most flexibility with what to do.
Mhm.
There'll probably already be a team here to some degree, right? It depends exactly how the mountain is like formatted or like made, right? 'Cause, like I think there's like a valley here, something like that. It's like obviously the valley's not good to play in, but like
Mhm.
the cliffside, it like depends on how it's like arranged out, right?
Right.
But like somewhere here, I would say is probably gonna be the best place in zone to be, because going downhill is way easier than going uphill, right?
Mhm.
Going downhill is infinitely easier. You always want to try and default to the higher part of zone, right, and see if it's free. So like the rotation I would probably want to see is like this way, right? Going through
Okay, okay.
checkpoint. Do you go through checkpoint here?
No.
Where do you go
I
through?
went through the
Just
choke,
the
the
cave?
spider choke.
Where do you play here?
There's like a little rock that you can play on,
Here,
like right.
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
basically
right here.
right
Yeah,
next
right
to
here.
there.
Probably should have played up here. To be honest with you. Do you know why? Okay, so do you know why playing here would be better than playing here?
Higher ground.
No.
Then
So
yeah, I wouldn't know what to say.
with this, your back is to the zone, right? That eliminates this whole
Oh, okay,
area
okay.
from somebody pushing you, right? Nobody can come from this way, right? When you're playing
Yeah.
here, you have to watch this angle and this angle,
Yep,
right?
yep,
Because
yep.
someone
Okay.
could rotate from behind you here,
Uh-huh.
like another duo or some team that's like, I don't know what to play. I don't want to play, bro. I don't want to play, bro. Like they can come from either way, right?
Yeah.
That's why. So if you want to play, you want to play in a way that eliminates the most number of ways for people to come at you, right? That's why edge is typically like quote unquote easier play.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if your people call edge teams like noob teams or whatever, right? Because it's just fighting. You don't have to worry about like zone really. You just kind of walk to zone and go, oh look, I'm in zone. It's not
Yeah.
easier. It's different, and a playstyle that can be easier, right? It's not flat out just easier. It's just it is typically results in being easier, right?
Right.
So whenever you can, it's important to one, put yourself to high ground, and two, put yourself with your back to the zone. Unless you're playing like hard zone, like you get zone on your POI, you just go sit in a building because you know end zone's gonna end there, right? And then from there you can eliminate like somewhere up here would be the best place to be, right? Because all you have to do is watch this way and watch this way, right? And if you have a high
Yeah.
ground or some sort of cover to play off of, right, you can see easier, right?
Right.
Obviously a team might be here, and then we can adjust that strategy, right?
That's why I didn't want to rotate that way because I didn't just want to get shot while going uphill to them.
Yeah, but if you don't, but you also want to try and be uphill as like anybody, so you can come down easier and not necessarily be shot at going uphill. Because you're a rat, you're walking uphill, you're fucking dead, dude.
Yeah.
You're dead. There's nothing you can do, man. But if you're downhill, you can probably find somewhere to hide, right? I'm pretty sure right here there's like a little like cove you can play in. I think it's here or it's here. I don't remember which side it's on, but it's one of these two places, right?
Yeah, it's right there, the second circle, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of these two places, right? But when you're calling zones, especially, it's not important. It's not the only thing that should be considered, right? I'm pretty sure the zone pulls closer over here in the end. Pretty sure it pulls closer to the buildings in
Yeah.
Cascade. Just based off of my game knowledge, right? But it's not. But like, I wouldn't say go play here, right? Obviously, like there's a sure the zone ends there, but it's not the best place to play, right?
Right.
Because you want to play a position where you can adapt and have a really strong position no matter what throughout later zones, right? You have more options. The more options you have, the more powerful you are, right? If you only have one option, you're typically powerless, right? That one option is typically, hey, go int this team, right?
Yeah.
And options aren't to be considered best play, right? Because like you can have a best play, but that doesn't limit you, right?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Checkpoint's gonna be really hard to get.
Yeah.
I hope.
This guy?
Yep.
He's one.
Ooh, wait, I want to back up a little bit. I want to see how you take this fight.
About it correctly. Oh, they're right here.
It was just
Yeah,
a
the
solo,
spiders.
so.
I still want to see how you approach it.
Oh,
No, I think they're.
maybe if they're like we catch one lacking.
Yeah, right now I think. This guy?
Yep.
He's one.
Yeah, hit him 30 flush.
And then he just tried to Valcall.
Then
Yeah, what is he gonna do, man?
it's solo, bro. Yeah, I was gonna say we play up here, but not a lot of people can get up there.
What is this spot? I didn't know this was a thing.
I think this is the cove you were talking about
I didn't get
area.
my kills,
I meant
so-
underneath. I didn't know you were on top of me.
Oh.
Just gotta be careful. I can't really like watch your like side.
So I get a knock on like one of the duos here.
Yeah.
And
So
then
there's wait. Okay, people died. Hang on. I want to see. Hang on. So when you killed this rat,
Literally doing this.
6 to 11. All right. So there's 7 people missing.
Yeah.
Oh,
7 people missing. One of them's your guy.
maybe if they're like we catch
So
one
6
back
people
end.
missing.
Yeah.
2 of them are this guy.
Yeah, right now. I
So
think.
that should be like what? 5 and
Yep.
He's one.
Yeah, hit
5
him,
and
double
10.
flash.
So that should be 4 and 9 with not counting you. Right?
Mhm.
Or yeah,
So,
not or wait,
5 and 9.
4 and 8.
Yes.
It should be 4 and 8 because there's 2 of you, not one of you. Duh. 4 and 8, right?
Yeah.
Before
I was
Nate.
gonna say we
So
could do,
there's what? If you this math is obviously a lot easier to do in game if you're looking like there's like 2 rats or whatever, right? It's 5 so it's 5 and 10, 4 and 8, right? So if
Yeah.
we look at so there's gonna be like what? 3 plus 3 is 6. That's not that would be 6 and then like 1 rat so there's one more team. So there's at max one full team. One full
Yep.
team. And then a duo, and then a duo, and then a rat. I think, right? 3,
Yeah.
5, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. So this is probably how it is, right?
Mhm.
3 plus 2 plus 2
not
plus
a lot
1,
of
right?
people can get
The
us
only
to-
thing you have to be scared of is
It's
this,
a full team. Yeah.
right? So it's basically as a duo, it's your job to leverage against the duo and the solo, right? It's either that or if the 3 is fighting a 2, you help the 2 fight the 3, right? You try and force a 4v3, right?
Mhm.
Not really feasible in a lot of situations because that duo is usually gonna be scared and be pussies, right? In like a comp
Yeah.
lobby, you would help the 2, but in a ranked lobby, it's like these guys are just gonna run away and be scared and then die, and then like you're
Yeah.
just gonna right?
Yeah, I think it's funny that you mentioned that because I feel like
The Lumineers.
in this context, I feel
Careful.
like I helped the duo. Or no, I helped the 3-man, and then they were able to take position on us.
Yeah, probably. You guys probably get second
Because I
here.
knocked one on the
Killed
duo
him.
team, yeah, right around here.
Oh, there's the trio with triple red.
Yeah. And then this is the guy I knock.
90 flash on one. Knocked. This team is portaling out towards you, to the left.
There's actually one walking up. I'm gonna get back.
To-
Might be the wraith actually.
And then the
45
duo
on
just
him.
kind of got like a free reset.
Yeah, I did hear someone walking up to our right.
Like by the pills.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah, playing no fill or
Yeah, they're
playing
gonna
outnumbered
be
is all about
falling
helping
down.
is about helping kill the bigger teams. You can't really do too much yourself.
That
Well, you
was a
can, but it's a lot
sneak
harder, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to try and kill the 3 here. It's probably number 1 priority, but it depends on how
Yeah.
good that happens.
Oh, there's one
Yeah, we
here.
definitely didn't execute it.
Almost knocked down
Very
80
well.
flash.
I can't.
Just stay alive. Just stay alive.
I guess this is where like my aim comes into play right here.
Yeah, I want to see this.
This guy's right. 1v1 right there.
It's not much. It's literally just
No. Dude.
So the whole reason you could have won
There's
this,
one here.
really, right?
Almost knocked down 80
I'm
flash.
like
Is that
you
rock
don't
in?
need me to tell you that, right?
Yeah,
Pull
I
up to
think it
that
is.
rock. There's someone right next to me though. I'm walking
Let
up.
me see.
I'm with you. Oh, there's one right here.
So what would you say your strongest attribute naming is?
my what?
Your strongest attribute naming?
Um,
Clicking, tracking, what?
I'd say like my clicking. I feel like my tracking's not the best, but I feel like it varies. Like for me, like on some days my tracking can be super like insane, and
Mhm.
like I beam everything, and then other days it's just not.
Almost knocked down 80 flash.
I can't.
Just stay alive. Just stay
The
alive.
whole reason you
I
miss
w-
here.
Actually, I take
ahead.
take back what I said. I feel like my best attribute in aiming would maybe be my crosshair placement. I'm not sure.
Crosshair
That's
placement.
about-
Well, crosshair placement is aiming, but it's not aiming. It's not like
Yeah.
It's different,
This guy's right. 1v1 right there. Next to you.
right? So why do you miss
No.
these?
I can't.
Just stay alive. Just stay alive.
Do you know why you
I
miss
feel
these?
like
Bro.
yeah, I want to say like I shouldn't have ADS there. Or I should have switched between ADSing and not ADSing.
That's not really why you missed or don't miss here.
No.
You wouldn't have missed or,
Just stay alive, just
you
stay
wouldn't
alive.
have missed or not, depending on ADSing.
Bro.
You're right.
Like, why are you?
You don't
This guy's right. 1v1
look.
right there.
Look at how you move your crosshair. You
I
like don't.
tried to.
You
yeah, right.
You not only right. You not only high range. Let's see. Please
See
don't
if
make
you get a
please,
random.
please don't. Please no. I was gonna say please don't give me a random. Once the punch boosting's back, and I fucking got lied to. Not surprised.
That'd be cool.
I
Yeah.
fucking wish, right? The reason why you miss, right, is every time you readjust here, right?
He's already ahead, basically, sort of.
Kind of. There's not a good strafe aim. Like relationship building in your head. Like discipline. There's no like strafe aim discipline. It's a good way to describe it. Right? Because every time you flick to readjust to him,
Mhm.
every time you change direction, right? If-
Yeah.
Have you played Overwatch at all?
No.
No. What have you played any games other than Apex?
Valorant.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know necessarily where this comes from. It looks like an Overwatch habit.
I did play CS:GO a lot too.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think it's from either of those games, but it looks like an Overwatch habit. Every time you change direction, you like flick, right?
Yeah.
You do like a micro flick, right? When it's important to understand that every time you change direction like this, there needs to be smoothness.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To be like you want to exert as little energy as possible. This also comes from the fact that you play on high sends, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that even if you do it on high sends, right, you still see that obviously took a little bit of adjustment because I played on really low sends, right?
Mhm.
You still see it's pretty smooth, right? Obviously, it's a little bit more rigid now because I haven't played on the sends in a long time. Holy shit, right? But it's still pretty smooth, right? If I go back here, even then, right?
Yeah.
It's
Like I
even
can
smoother,
see
right?
the
Yeah.
rigidness, but it definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's still like it's enough to kill the guy, right?
Mhm.
It's I don't have to be fucking picture. I don't have to be pinpoint picture perfect, right?
Right.
You try to snap every time you move, right? Because like, you do understand that you need to change direction, but it's not like a smooth transition, right? You don't want to flick when you're doing this. You want to counteract your movement, right? So every time I move like this, right, it's a smooth direction change to the right and left, right? My speed, the way your movement works, is let me erase this. Right, when you are shifting to the right, right, you're going full speed, right?
Mhm.
When you change direction, there's a slowdown period into reaching zero velocity into a speed up period, right? And then you reach your velocity, right? So
Mhm.
there is a small cooldown here, or not cooldown. There's a small slowdown here, right? That says, hey, you don't instantly go back and forth, right? I said this looks like an Overwatch habit because in Overwatch, there's no movement acceleration, right? You instantly hit the speed every time you change direction, right? Do you have do you have the velocity counter on the top left of your game or no? I could have just checked actually, but you see mine, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You see how my speed drops to 0 every time I change direction like this?
Yeah.
And you see if I were to perfectly mimic the movement I was doing, you see how I'm off target a lot more right now, right? Every time you
Right.
change direction, make sure the important concept is aiming should not be a lot, right? I shouldn't when I'm aiming, I shouldn't go. Like I shouldn't be like trying to track every single movement I'm doing, counteracting everything, right? I shouldn't, because the more I try and put on myself, right, the more room for human error I have, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why mirroring is really good?
I kind of like exactly what you just said, and you had less to do. And
Yeah, right. I did a my coaching session, right? If I have the bots are strafing like this, right? And I stand still. The hardest a target will ever be to aim at, right? If I'm standing still and he's moving to the left, this is modestly the hardest. If I'm going the opposite direction that this guy's going, this is the
Mhm.
hardest it will ever be, right? But if he's going to the left,
And we're both going the same direction.
this is the easiest it'll ever be, right?
Yeah.
This requires the least amount of energy and force to do, which gives us the least room for human error, right? And so here, right, every time that someone changes direction like this, especially, right, there's always room for error, right? We want to make sure that when people are strafing like this against us, we want to make sure that we are explicitly not trying to do too much to overtrack them, right? We try and track every single move that they do, right? I mean, even against a training dummy, right? I'm still off target a good portion of time every time they change direction, right?
Are you
Because I'm
still
human.
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see that I'm not perfect because I still have human reaction time, right? I'm still a human.
Right.
There's Aimer7 described it. Okay, Aimer7's not a good person. I don't know if you know that.
I have no idea who he.
He's
that person is.
he's like an aim coach, scientist, whatever, right? And I hate to quote him on this, but he was very right about this, right? Every person has like a field around them, right? That but if they change direction, you can't react to the change in direction until they're outside that area, right? And this is like 300 milliseconds, right? Because every time someone changes direction, you can't inhumanly react outside this direction, right?
Right.
You can't instantly track field no matter what, unless you're on controller. It's the only way you can do that, right?
Yeah.
It's important to understand that if someone's going to change direction on you a lot, you can't rely on yourself to over aim this super hard. And it's important to understand that in general, you want to be as lazy as possible when aiming, right? Or when tracking rather. When you're tracking, if you put in the minimal amount of effort like this, right? See, I'm kind of like I'm under tracking the dummy like this, right?
Yeah.
It's important to do this because it makes it the easiest possible, right? I'm not trying to do too much, right? I want you to focus specifically when you're aiming. I don't want you to try and like track every single movement, right? I want you to I want you to exploit. Why are you standing still? Oh, I have that on. Right. And then if someone changes, like that guy changed direction twice, right? And I missed a good amount of shots, right? Like even then, I'm not killing this dummy with no mag R9. Right. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
I'm not like an aim coach, right? But it's important to understand that, hey, this is how aiming works. You don't want spawn. You don't want to overcomplicate it super hard, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel like once you actually like made me realize that, like I definitely feel like I'm more of like a snappy and not smooth type of like tracker.
Yeah, being snappy is like okay if you know what you're doing, right? But I would wager you don't really know what you're doing, right? Right. So it's important. I want you to understand the relationship between what you have to do with your mouse, right? It's important to understand that if you are going, if I'm going the same way, right, as a guy, my mouse has to move so much less, right? Like sure, I still have to readjust to this guy's movement, right? My mouse has to move overall so much less than it normally would. If I am, or if I'm going the opposite way that this guy's going, my mouse has to move so much more, right? I mean, look, I just missed everything, right? Like I have to put so much more effort into tracking this guy, right? And if I stand still, it's like an okay amount, right?
Right.
It's not
obviously
like,
like you said mid.
Yeah, it's mid. Right? And the amount of energy that I'm putting my mouse, and the amount like I'm moving my mouse, is affected by this, right? This is what an aim trainer is really good for, establishing like stuff like this, right? But you also do this in game by thinking about your aim, right? Because if you go to a fight and you think, hey, this guy's moving to the left, I'm gonna move to the left. Oh, I beamed the fuck out of him for a second, right? And like even then, even in things like comp, like as you get better, you'll be able to do more and more and more consistently, right? I can take a really nitty gritty look at your mechanics at some point from like pub VODs, if you want, in the future. But from what I can see right here, I think it's more, especially if you want to go into comp and stuff like that, it's important for you to go into it with a more like, hey, like overall role in a team, what you kind of have to provide, right? Like that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I want you to overall just more think about what you're doing, especially, right? Because plateauing is caused. I mean, you're also. It looks to me like you're just kind of doing things to do things, right? And I'm not necessarily saying like you're dumb or anything like that, right? I'm not. That's not what's on the front. Right? More so, I want you to just more so be more mentally active in trying to think about what you're doing, right? You're trying to think about aiming at somebody, right? Because if someone's gonna jump pad, right? Think about the movement that they're gonna do, right? If it's like, okay, they're gonna go on an arc. I'm preparing myself for that arc. Okay, that wasn't that. That was mildly easier, right? It's like, okay, this guy might go like really left, right strafes, right? So if he does, I'm gonna kind of just wait. Can I change how often they strafe?
There's like a interval, I think. Or no? Never mind.
don't know. Right, but if W's doing this, right, and it's like, hey, I want to make sure I'm not trying to over-track it too much, right? There's obviously aimers that can do that, and I'm sure you've seen aimers do that, like Red5 is a really good example of somebody who's really active in aiming. Really, really active aiming, and like you can do that, but I really advise you to not, because you won't be consistent, right?
Yeah, and I think the goal is definitely be more consistent.
Pub aimers are different than real aimers, right? And to be as consistent as possible, you have to remove as much input as possible from it, right? So like obviously if I'm taking a fight, right, I'm taking a fight like this from up here, and then I take a fight from like up here, right? Like which one's better? The one from up here because he's below me,
Right.
right here, track, right? Like I'm standing still here, and I can one clip it, but like back here it's a lot harder for me to do it sitting still, and then go like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
It does. Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So like, if I wanted to like aim train like to get the smoothness down of tracking, right? Like, what would be a good resource to like try and use, like an aim labs or something?
Do you use aim labs or Kovacs?
I have both, but I like aim labs better.
You can
But
play
whichever one you think is best, I'll try.
Go play this scenario. I'll link you.
Okay, bet.
It's called revolving tracking. It's really, really good. Revolving tracking. Where are you? Here. This is like the fucking go today. This is such a go to Apex 10. You want to play like revolving tracking is a fucking go, dude. Not the thin version. That one's hard. I do not know. You can look it up in the name of thing. It's just called revolving tracking.
Okay.
Like VT Apex revolving tracking. It'll follow the same naming code. Revolving tracking is the fucking goat though. It's really good. There's also like a strafe variation I think that is there, but it's more the bot strafes. But it's important. But that's later, I think. That'll be something to focus on later, right? But centering scenarios. I think there's also a scenario. I know it's called centering in Kovacs. I don't know if it's called centering in AimLab as well.
Okay.
Yeah. That also good. Any other questions? You can also play like Smoothbot. I think the Kovacs Smoothbot is way better than the AimLab Smoothbot. I'll tell you that right now, just because of how the scenario works.
Okay.
But, you can play the Voltaic Smoothbot or whatever. Or just like there's also. I wonder if we have a smoothness. I'll see if there's any other smoothness stuff I can send you to later.
Okay. I'd appreciate that. Yeah.
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 Anything
I mean,
else?
other than that, nothing really else.
Okay.
I definitely like you said, like I'd be interested in you reviewing like pub VODs. So like what would be like the best way for me to do that with you, like Discord subscription or like
it depends on what you want to do. If you don't think you'll do like a long-term student thing, like you want to do like 1 or 2 more sessions and then like call it there or whatever, then I recommend do it through Medify because it'll probably be cheaper. But if you want to be like a student for like a longer time, I'd recommend like Discord subs because one it's way cheaper. It's $25 a month, right? But also if you don't claim your session a month, it's not like it's more
useless.
It's up to you. No.
Okay.
But it's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, because I just feel like I'm tired of like trying to figure things out on my own and get better as a player when
I feel
can
that,
like
yeah.
try and get like some kind of guidance so I
dude,
can actually.
I wish other people realized that. Oh my god. Other people were like, no, I can do it myself. And I'm like, okay, dude. And then they're like, I discovered this thing. I'm like, bro, you were 8 months behind on that
Yeah, exactly.
pro player. Like, pro players literally do that. And I'm like, man, come on.
Like, it's just like you're just wasting more time by not like trying to take advantage of the resources out there.
Exactly. But yeah, it's up to you if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you-
I'll most likely then enroll in like the Discord subscription then
Yeah,
because
and
I'm
then
definitely
you-
just.
yeah, and then you'll have
looking
another
Go ahead,
session
sorry.
this month. No, you're fine. You'll have another session this month then.
Okay.
Assuming you claim it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to working with you again then.
Yeah.
It sounds like we'll fucking do it again.
Yeah. 100%. No, the passion is there, and I just
Let's
wanna
go!
keep getting better.
The passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can also like help you with like eye comp and stuff like that too if you want, if you're interested as well.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. I can talk to you about comp and stuff like that, and talk about your role in comp and all that shit. So.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the time and taking
No
to
problem.
coach me.
Let me know if you have any questions. You can always DM me stuff if you have questions about it or whatever. You
Okay.
can give me clips and be like, hey, was like my aim like better here? Was like the blah 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 we talked about, right? So just send me clips related to stuff. Sorry for today. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I will hopefully be talking to you later this month.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will be in touch.